Hey there. I know it takes a little bit for everyone to get here, so we'll just kind of hang out for a minute and know we're coming. As soon as you see my screen and my hands, let me know. We've got this. This is the Stamparatus, and it's what we're working with tonight. I can't wait to share this with you. I think it's super cool. And I don't know how many of you already have it. That's the interesting part. A lot of it was offered in an early, you could put orders in early, but a lot of us didn't do it. But it's now available. It's in the catalog. If you don't have it, I'm going to show you why you need to have it and why you're going to love it. So as soon as you're here, just let me know. Say, hi, I'm here. And we will get started. I know it's Saturday night and you probably have a ton of things to do, but I wanted to do this. So if you miss it live, no worries. It will be recorded and it'll be in the classroom for you so that you can check it out when it's there. And let's get started. So what's the Stamparatus look like? Well, and what is it? Besides having a cute name, the Stamparatus is a stamp positioning tool. Now we've seen some of those from other companies. This is Stampin' Up! Versions, and they worked really hard to make this work. I've got a couple stamps on here just to confuse you. Hey, Susan. So let's talk about what's different about this versus other stamp positioning tools. It comes with 2 plates, so I can do 4 stamps at a time, right? They just pop in, there's not a big deal. There's a grid plate on the bottom, and you need that when you're using your red rubber, we call them clear mount stamps. They're not clear. Hi, Alicia. You use this one. If you're using the clear photopolymer stamps like these, the clear ones, you're going to want to use this little piece of foam that comes with it. It says Stampin' Up! Right here. And that's going to give you a much better stamp, okay? So a couple of informational items. This piece will close down. Forget that I have stamps on there. We'll talk about those in a minute. I've already got them on there, so I just don't want to take them off. You can put one down like this to store it. This won't close. You can see that it's kind of upright. So don't jam it or it will break. You just pop it off and lay it down like that when you put it away. Rumor has it there's some really interesting carrying cases coming. I haven't seen them yet. Don't really know anymore, and I can't tell you anymore, but I heard through the little birdies that might happen. Okay, so the most important part of this is also the part that either gives you lots of bloopers on Facebook or works really cool. On the back, this is a magnetic base to hold everything in place, and you have these incredibly strong, super colossal magnets, right? Do not ever let them get close to each other because they snap together and generally break. And you're thinking, well, that sounds like a dumb idea. These are really, really strong, rare earth magnets. They're very fragile. They will break to, now they're not fragile used like this, but boy, one to the other, and it will jump across the table, scare you half to death. Stampin' Up! Now has replacement magnets in case you break one. So don't worry. If it does, it's not the end of the world. A lot of people are recommending that you wrap these in duct tape and leave a little tail on the end, or washi tape. I'm okay because I generally use one at a time, and I just like how they look the way they are, so I haven't wrapped mine. But if you look online, you'll see lots and lots of YouTube videos. Hey, Gertie. Gertie, it's okay. Gertie's digging a hole over here in the chair. Gertie is my Shih Tzu with glaucoma who had to have her surgery, and now she kind of needs to be near me periodically. She just feels like I'm not here. Hey, Gertz. Gert, can we stop doing that? Sorry. If you hear this digging, I don't have a rodent in the room. I have a really determined Shih Tzu. See if I can give her her bone so she stops doing that. Hey, can we stop, please? Here. There you go. All's good. All right. So now, 2 magnets. You're not going to want to put them together. You're going to want to use one at a time. Hey, Dolly. So when you put this down, you can see that it sticks right there. And what that does is it keeps your paper in place. Okay, so what are we going to do with this crazy tool? There are so many things. And over the summer, I'll be talking about lots of different ways that you can use it. If you are participating in my Inspire events, you will find this really handy to have as a tool in your arsenal. Hey, Jeannie. But you can certainly do Inspire even without a Stamparatus. So don't let that keep you from coming, but it will be a tool that you will find really useful, and I will be using it. It sounds horrible to me, but she's quiet now. She's happy. She's found her bone. She's made the cushion really comfy. She's all settled in now. Crazy little girl. All right, so what are we going to do with it tonight? We are going to make this super cool card. This is the roundabout stamping, and I'm going to show you how to make yourself a template so that you can use this, okay? All right, so first things first, we need to get, this is what you're going to make. You are going to make a template like that that's going to allow you to create this from this one stamp, from this stamp. This one little flower stamp. This is from the Bouquet Blooms set. I love this stamp set. It's just so simple. And this look is one of my favorites. This kind of flourish with I just love it. So anywho, it is a bundle. It comes with, and this isn't even beginning to touch on the gatefold that it makes. So cool. Well, we've got more coming with that too. But for tonight, I just like this little flower. And I wanted to show you how to make yourself this template. So, Stamparatus is going to move aside for a minute. And the first thing I need to do is take a piece of graph paper. This is from the Stampin' Up! Pad. It comes, I've cut 6 inches off, but it comes like this. Super long. It's great to work on. I've cut a piece off. So I'm going to cut a 6 by 5 piece of this. I'm also going to need my, hold on. This is from my stitched thinlits. No, it is not. It is from my layered thinlits. It's all the different layers. They look like this. There's squares and circles and ovals, okay? You're going to want the largest square. And the reason we're using the graph paper is it helps us line things up. You could definitely do it out of regular paper, but using the graph paper helps you to line it up. So let's bring in, and you know what? I don't really need this tonight because I'm using my Stamparatus. So it doesn't matter that my table isn't perfectly flat. I'm still okay. So I'm going to bring this in. Big shot here. Using my magnetic platform. Let me make myself a little bit more room. There. Okay, now you should be able to see the whole thing. All right, so I'm going to put this on, and I'm going to use the grid lines to line this up so that I know what I'm doing when I'm going to do the next one. So I'm going to put that right along the edge on a line. Can you see that? Let me zoom it in a little. Okay. See this line? I've got the outside of my thinlet right along that nice straight line. And I'm going to go ahead and cut out the square. I didn't come up with a good name. I've seen lots of different people do these. Some of them involve a great deal of math, and I've just said, nope, not doing it, don't like it. This seems to be others have files that you print. Dolly, you're having a hard time seeing me? Can you make it larger? Are you on your phone? You might be able to make it larger. You can enlarge the screen. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is line this up with the corners right in the middle. Make sure that I'm on the same grid line. In the same line with the top to bottom to make sure it's nice and square, okay? And I'm going to run this through too. Okay. Then, so now I have this. This is my template. All right. Now, I'm going to take this one out, and I'm using Very Vanilla tonight. And I'm going to run a piece of Very Vanilla right through and cut the same shape. So there's my Very Vanilla. Same thing, run it on through. Oh, I'm sorry. It seems clear on my end because I can see what you see, and it seems pretty clear. So maybe it's your laptop. You can watch this on your phone or your iPad. Just if you go to Facebook. Okay. So now we've made this. Now we're ready to put this into our Stamparatus. Now I am using, this is the photopolymer stamp, so I'm going to want the foam, right? I don't need this other one. I can take this right off for now because I don't need it. Put that to the side. And when you're putting your stuff down, you will find that if you're stamping right along the very edges in the corners, it's a little harder to get an even stamp. You might have to do it a couple of times, but that's the beauty of the Stamparatus. So I'm going to bring in my template, and I'm going to put that, get my crazy magnet out, I'm going to put that right in the corners so it stays where I want it. And I'm going to put my magnet there. And I'm also going to use the other one. You don't have to, but it just keeps everything in place and I don't have to worry about it shifting. So I'm going to use that one too. And I'm going to put that over here. Okay, so now they're far from each other. They're not going to snap together. Just have to be careful. And I'm going to start with this and just pop it right down in. Line it up like that. Then I'm going to take my stamp and I'm going to put it image side down the way I want it to stamp, and I'm going to position it where I want it to be right along the edge, but not over the edge, okay? Then I'm going to take my plate, put it in position, bring it down, and pick up my stamp. Okay? All right. Hey Sandy, I'm glad you're here. I'm sorry I didn't tell you. All right, I am using Grapefruit Grove. This is one of the new stamp pads. Oh good, poor Dolly, she thought she was bleary-eyed. Remember, these open like a compact. You just open it up and then you slide it back. Sometimes the first time it's a little stiff. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it over and tap, tap, tap on my stamp. Try not to get it all over your Stamparatus plate, but if you do, the world doesn't come to an end. Bring it over and even pressure right on the stamp. Hey Patricia, lift it up, and then flip it a quarter of a turn, ink, position it, and repeat. And you're just going to do this until you have a circle. Right? Twist, ink. So now you're probably looking at this thinking, well, how am I going to clean this little bugger? What do I do? Doesn't fit in anything. I will tell you the easiest thing I have found is to use my Stampin' Mist that goes with my Stampin' Scrub. Just spritz it on this and a paper towel, and I love the way it cleans. I lost track. I think I inked, but I don't think I twisted. Twist. And you notice I don't have to hold that in place. It doesn't go anywhere, and I can't remember if I really did ink, so let's ink again. Whoops. And twist. And you want to make sure that you really do get it in the right place, isn't it? You can do this with anything. Hearts and letters, and you're making your wreath. Think about all the different images that you could use. Whoops. And it's kind of fun to just play with different things and see what you get. All right, so now we go all the way around. All right, super cool. So now to clean this, you don't want to be spritzing on top of what you just did, so take it off. Move this out of the way because, you know, you could spray the wrong thing. Just kind of spritz on here a little bit. Take a paper towel and just wipe it off. You don't want to use any harsh cleaners on this. You don't really want to use an alcohol. You want to use just warm water would do it. I just find this is super easy because it's right here and it cleans the stamp too. And we're good to go. Right? All right, now we're ready to make this be even cooler. So let's bring this out. This time we're going to bring our Big Shot back. And from that same layered thinlits, to close this, you put your thumb right here and you pull. And again, they're tough at the beginning. The first few times they're kind of hard to work with. Make sure that it's all the way down before you snap it. Make sure it's all the way back so you don't break anything. Once you've used it a couple times, it gets much easier. All right, so now I have the circle. And I'm really isn't going to do much if I do it on the top. I put this in. I bring my circle. And I just kind of figure out where I want it. And run it on through. Now, because I tend to be a matchy-matchy kind of girl, and I'm not really big on lots of different colors, tonight this is all the same color, I'm going to use my aqua pen, and I'm going to use my same Grapefruit Grove, and I'm going to make this look watercolory. And I'm just going to do a little bit. I'm on the very vanilla. I'm not on watercolor pencil paper, so I don't want to scrub too much or I'll get the, I'll kind of ball the paper up and I don't want to do that. You could use a contrasting color if you wanted. It doesn't matter what color you use. So for example, if you wanted Daffodil Delight, I have that in the older stamp pad. you could do that, right? These pens are so versatile. And it really, you don't have to be fussy. You just kind of put it on down. It looks watercolory because it's kind of uneven. To clean your pen in between, just kind of squeeze it. These colors are light, so I'm getting away with it. All right, and I'm going to let this dry while I pick up my mess. Hey Vicky, how are you? This is the old stamp pad. You can see that you kind of had to talk to it to get it down in there. You don't with the new one. And what do I want to do? Oh, I'm going to use a different, oh, it's right here. This one. This Thinlit. Forgot I was zoomed in. Was I missing things? I'm going to use this Thinlit to give me a nice little backing. I'm using the same, just plain cardstock. And I'm going to run this through. This is using that same layered Thinlits. I will put all the numbers of what I'm using after the video. I'll list it all. Remember, the video will show up on my caramiller.com blog. It will also be in Teachable, so it's really easy to find. So this is going to go here. If you don't know where Teachable is, just go to caramiller.com and you will see something that says calendar. When you click on calendar, it will tell you what I'm doing, except for things like tonight that it just popped in. And under calendar, you will also see classroom. There is a free class that's set up in there. It says Stampin' Up! Live classes. Everything I record is in there. So you can enroll in that one free class. It's free. And then everything's in one place. It's super easy to find. Okay. So we have now, you're not wandering through YouTube or Facebook or any of these other things. You just go to the classroom and it's all right there. Now, I'm not done yet because I want to put a sentiment in the center of this card. So I'm going to put one of my magnets away because I don't need two right now and I don't want them to attack each other. And I'm going to put my template. You can save this and use it over and over and over again. In fact, you might want to write template on it so you don't throw it away thinking it's trash. And then I'm going to bring this in. And I'm going to decide what goes in the center. Well, this one has some really cute happy for you, friend, thanks, you're the best that will fit right in our center. This is happy for you. So I position it where I want it. Easy peasy, just kind of wiggle it around so you get it where you want it. And then you bring your plate in, push it down, it'll grab it. I'm just going to use my Memento ink and ink this up. All right, I want to show you something. Ooh, the P looks a little wonky. The two P's don't look very good. They didn't ink very well. No worries. Just come back over here, ink again, and do it again. That's why I love the Stamparatus, because I mess that up so many times, and look how perfect that is, right? If I do say so myself. Perfect. Okay? All right. So now we're going to put this card together. We have some other ideas. So we're going to let this dry over here. And I told you I was using Very Vanilla, which I had already cut. Where is it? That's not it. I need that, but that's not the one I'm talking about. I have my card pre-cut somewhere. And it's gone. Okay, well, let's do it this way. This is the card that I made to show you. Ooh, let's zoom out. No, not that way. That way. Keep zooming. Thank you. So this is the one that I did. And I used the Very Vanilla as my card base. And then my card front. And I just did some random stamping of this leaf that was part of the same bouquet blooms. It's this leaf, okay? And I did it in the ink that's the color. No blurring where you just, no, I know, isn't that great? I love it. Okay, so we're gonna do something a little bit different this time for this card. I'm gonna use this as my base, so let me cut that to the right size. 4 1/4, I'm sorry, 5 1/2. By 8 1/2 is going to be my card base. And I'm going to use my score pal and score this at 4 1/4, so I'll have a standard card. Okay, so this is going to go on top of it. And you can see that it's not quite the right size right at the moment. I'm going to cut this to be the size that I want to go on the front of this. 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 means this is going to, what I want this to be is 4 by 5 1/4. So let me trim this down. I could trim it before or after. I'm going to do it now. So I want this by 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. And then I'm going to pop this back in the Stamparatus. And the reason I'm using the Stamparatus, I don't necessarily have to, but I love the padding. It's right here. It's easy to work with. I don't need the magnet because I'm going to do something a little different this time, so it doesn't really matter where I do it. But if I can find the stamp that I had already done, here it is. This is that stamp that I said I love from the Bouquet Blooms. And I'm going to do an all-over stamp with this, random, using my same Grapefruit Grove. But I'm not really going to use the Stamparatus because that's not really designed to do random stamping. It's done for much more precision. But I'm going to use the stamping mat because everything's set up for my photopolymer. So I know that I'm going to get a good finish, but I don't want to get my pad, and I might want to stamp off. So I'm going to take the other piece of this graph paper. You could use any kind of scrap paper and just pop that down. So basically I'm just using this as my surface. All right. And I'm going to do some like that. What happened? It hit my magnet. Let's move that over. That wasn't a good idea. And because I didn't use the Stamparatus, I'm going to have to kind of guess where I wanted to go before. Pretty good. I'm okay. Had I been using the Stamparatus, I could have done it exactly there. And I'm making my own kind of pattern paper here. Okay. I know it looks a little messy. I promise it's going to look cool in a minute. All right, I'm going to bring you in here like so. And then you are going to go like so. right? Super easy. Using just one stamp pad, one stamp set, and a half a sheet of cardstock. Half a sheet of Very Vanilla, a half a sheet of what am I using? Grapefruit Grove. Super easy. Oh, and I did use one other stamp, but I could have used the same. I could have used the same on my sentiment if I wanted. So let's put this little baby together. You could, if you wanted, you could bring in your pen and add some more color to this. I like just the way it is, but I tend to be a really plain and simple stamper. I'm not really big on lots of detail and craziness, but that's just me. And I would not recommend gluing on your Stamparatus. All right, so I will put a list of all the things that I used in the bottom for you. I'm going to grab myself a stamping dimensional. Right? I'm telling you, the Stamparatus gizmo can use the coolest things. There's so many things you can do with it. I have to say, I've been sitting on it and not really doing a lot with it because I wanted to wait until it was available for everyone. Because I think it's really torturous to see something and not be able to get it if you like it. So it is now available. Goes like that. I am out of snail. Can you tell? I always use snail. Always. You've been here before, Susan. So I'm using Tombow and I'm actually liking it. I didn't think I would, but I'm liking it. The only other thing I have right now is not available anymore. So I'm waiting for my snail. I have a big order coming anytime now, I think. And I hope my snail's in this one. If not, it'll be next week. So here's two different versions depending on what you like and how you like your pattern paper. You could also use designer series paper back here. It's this circle thing that's just too cool for school. Right? Love it. All right, everybody, thanks for coming tonight. I know it was a quick, oh my gosh, I'm going to be here on Saturday night. I'm really, really glad you came. Please make note that all new Stamping Up Adventures are starting on Monday. Monday night at 8 p.m. I will be here. That will kick off a week of I will kick off a new product that we will feature for the whole week on Monday. Not necessarily brand new, but new to me or new to the classroom. Something I haven't focused on before. So Monday night, 8 o'clock, come see what the product of the week is. We will do a live. I will have some specials, something with an order. I guess that's how to say it. When you order, you might get this. And then lots of things going on all week. Those of you that are coming to Inspire June was supposed to be today, but I was worried about the boxes getting to everyone by today. And as it turns out, some people got them delivered to their house today. So Inspire will be Tuesday night and Wednesday night. If you don't know what that is, we'll be posting pictures to share. Inspire is a goodie box that arrives at your door full of super cool things from me. And there will be one in July, mark the calendar, July 14th. And I'll be posting this week how you can get involved in that. Lots of fun stuff going on in my Stampin' Up! World, and I'm excited to share them with all of you. See you soon. Have a great night. Bye.